in with breaking news. Let's bring in our NFL reporter, Jeff Darlington. He joins us now. And Jeff, what can you tell us about the latest with J McCarthy and the Vikings?
Well, it's a bit of a stunning and disappointing revelation about their first-round pick this season, and it is a partially torn, well, we don't even know how torn it is, but a meniscus tear in his right knee that he suffered during Saturday's preseason game. Now, I mentioned the fact that we don't know exactly the extent of the tear. That is something that will be determined at the time of surgery. He will undergo surgery this week. When that does happen, we'll find out whether or not they can repair this to an extent that will keep him get him back on the field sooner rather than later, or if this is going to be a month-long recovery process. At this point, we simply do not know. McCarthy was dealing with soreness in that knee. He went to the team training staff. They put him through an MRI, and they discovered this tear in his meniscus. Obviously, a very disappointing setback for the team's rookie quarterback.
Okay, so we still on questioning the timeline. What more can you tell us then? What's the Vikings plan about the quarterback position going forward then?
Well, we can point out the fact that J McCarthy was already kind of being slow played by the coaching staff, including head coach Kevin O'Connell, when it came to getting him into that starting role. Sam Darnold still projected to be the week one starter of this team, and quite frankly, that was already the plan. They wanted to be very careful about J McCarthy's development before putting him in the game. So from the standpoint of going out and finding another quarterback, we're not to that point yet. Perhaps if he's going to miss several months dealing with this recovery period, they would go do that. But you saw the depth chart there. They do have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. Sam Darnold still projected to start week 1. Clearly, I think we can put that in pen rather than pencil at this point, given the fact that J McCarthy is going to miss time.
Yeah, he looked good in their preseason opener. I think it was 11 of 17, threw for nearly 200 yards.
McCarthy took to social media to reassure Vikings fans earlier this afternoon, saying, "Love you, Viking Nation. I'll be back in no time. Amor fati," which translates, ladies and gentlemen, into love of fate. Here's his head coach, Kevin O'Connell.
After, as we talked about yesterday, coming in with some soreness a couple days after the game, I credit JJ for obviously being able to continue to play. He did not come out of the game from the injury. We don't know the severity yet, and that is honestly where we're at right now. And I think we're hopefully having a shorter timeline than a longer timeline, but the potential severity will come when we, do that procedure. And, Sam's had a really good camp, and my confidence level in Sam is very, very high at this point, and looking forward to seeing him continue his progression. And I know his teammates and the rest of the coaching staff have been really enthused by what Sam's done. And like I said, my confidence level is really high in Sam.
Yeah, obviously, he's referring to veteran quarterback Sam Darnold. And obviously, this is senior NFL insider Adam Schefter, kind enough to join us in light of the breaking news. How will this be determined, the timeline for J McCarthy's recovery?
Well, Hannah, here's what's going on. They're going to perform surgery on J McCarthy's right knee, on his torn meniscus. And whether they decide to trim or repair that meniscus will determine, to steal Kevin O'Connell's phrase there, whether it is a shorter or longer time period for which J McCarthy will be sidelined. Obviously, one scenario, fairly short, multiple weeks. The other longer one is something the Viking fans don't want to think about. But the bottom line here is they want to get J McCarthy's knee right. They're going to repair the meniscus. The question is, how extensive is the damage and what they need to do to actually either trim or repair it. And that will determine how long the rookie first-round draft pick will be sidelined and when he'll be able to play, if he'll be able to play again this season.
Listen, thank goodness, that they have Sam Darnold. On the other hand, it's just an incredible situation and setup for a rookie quarterback to come into. At the very least, this will be a setback for J McCarthy. And now Minnesota's going to want to add somebody to the quarterback room, we're assuming. What are their options?
Well, they might not have to here, Hannah, because remember, as you pointed out, they did sign Sam Darnold. They have on their roster from last year Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall, both of whom played and both of whom they like. And so there are 3 quarterbacks here between Darnold, Mullins, and Hall that they can lean on. Now, look, going forward, you can count on Sam Darnold being the opening day starting quarterback against the Giants in New Jersey on opening day. But again, they have the other 2 quarterbacks to help back up Darnold, already acclimated to the system, already know how Kevin O'Connell thinks. That's an ideal scenario. It's possible they could add another quarterback arm here, but it looks like they have right now the depth that they need for an injury like this, but nobody wants an injury like this, and it's certainly a setback for the organization.
I just keep thinking of Nick Mullins. Remember moments before a Thursday night football game? Like literally just before the game, he had to come in and start and comported himself so well. So he's a good guy to have there in that quarterback room. Adam Schefter with all the latest. He will be back on NFL Live. Thanks, Adam.